In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a six-figure revenue stream on LinkedIn. And importantly, you're not going to need any ads, big following, or any kind of pushy tactics. So just as an introduction, before we get started, I'm Dean Seddon, the CEO and founder of Maverick. I built my own marketing agency. We're on LinkedIn, scaled up, and now our business has kind of morphed. We have a global footprint and we help people win business, win clients on LinkedIn. So if you've not met me before, hello. But also come find me on LinkedIn if you've got any questions from this session. Now I am going to be sharing some slides here and they're not all going to be the most easiest to read behind me. So somewhere around this video, there will be a link where you can download a copy of the slides. So if you want a copy of the slides, just use the link, use the button, fill in the form, and get a copy of the slides too. Okay, so let's get started. So one of the common problems, or some of the common problems that people have when it comes to generating business, winning clients, hitting those revenue targets on LinkedIn is primarily divided up into kind of three categories. You've got the mindset issues, which are how people are thinking about it and how they're approaching LinkedIn, confidence issues, clarity on how they do things, self-doubt. Sometimes we kind of avoid taking action for fear of what might happen. We've got the strategy issues. What are we actually doing to go to market? What are we actually doing to that's effective, that's going to get results? And then there's the easiest one of these problems to solve, which is the technical, how to use the platform, how to use the tools. Now, wherever you are in your journey with LinkedIn, you're going to find that you will come across these three challenges in different ways. So for some people, the mindset area could be the biggest hurdle. The way they think about their business, the way they package what they do. And then others, it might be the strategy piece where they're not really sure what's the best way to do it for their business. What's the most effective way to do it? And a lot of people don't really understand how to use the platform. So these are common problems people have, and they build up and they compound together and prevent people from getting results. So I'm going to show you the 4 foundations to building that six-figure revenue. And again, if you want a copy of these slides, fill in the form somewhere around this video and you can get a copy of the PDF slides. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is focusing on your most valuable clients. Now, you might have a wide customer base you can sell to, but who are the ones who are the dream people to work with? Will be buying on value, not price, that understand the process and appreciate the process and have a need to take action and of course have the ability to pay. Now this might seem like common sense, but many people don't do the work to actually identify who are our sweet spot clients. And when you do that, you can find the people on the platform. You can use those criteria to actually find the people who are the best people to work with. I often quote to people when they're struggling with LinkedIn and they're just having the first conversation, I say there's loads of different tools, loads of different activities, but for most people, they don't need thousands of clients. They don't need tens of thousands, hundreds. Some people need like 10, 50, and that would be transformative for their business. So focusing on who are those dream 50 or 100 clients that we want to work with, who are they, what do they look like, what industries they're in, what's the challenges that they face, what's their buying motivations. Mapping all of that out at the front end can give you real focus, so when it comes to your activity, you can speak to them, you can communicate with them, you can share stories and advice and tips and helpful information that really resonates with where they're at. So number one, focusing on your most valuable clients is absolutely critical. Now, the next part of what we come to is packaging your offer. Now, you might be selling a service, you might be selling coaching, consulting, it could be anything. Whatever you're selling, remember LinkedIn is a social media platform. So you have seconds to engage people. The days of having minutes and getting a fair hearing from prospects on social media are firmly over. Now we have seconds to actually communicate value. And if we don't do it quickly, people will not give us the benefit of the doubt. So packaging our offer is about making it really clear for the people, our MVCs, what the value of our service is, our offer. And our offer is basically defined by the audience, the MVC, the outcome we're going to deliver, a specific outcome, the process of how we help people do that, and the price. And these four things have to come together because the outcome proves the value, and the value justifies the price, and the process gives people confidence to take action and buy. So those four things have to come together into a package. One, so you can communicate it simply and easily in a very noisy social media landscape. And two, so that your customers can quickly see the value and go, this is worth investigating, this is worth knowing more. So packaging your offer is critical to any success on LinkedIn. And out of that four components, you end up with what's called a big promise. And a big promise is simply a 1 sentence, 2 sentence tops explainer of the value, almost a brand promise or a product or service promise that if people buy it, this is what they're going to get. Big promises are so important if you want to grab people's attention and hold it. So packaging your offer, creating that big promise is paramount. Now, some people will say at this point, Dean, I've got lots of people I can serve. I've got this market, this market, this market, this market. What do I do if I can serve so many markets? Well, here's the challenge if you can serve so many markets. The opportunity for you is so big that if you try and appeal and capitalize on the breadth of opportunity you've got, your message, your personal brand, your content, your strategy will have to be watered down. Because the CEO of a tech company and the small business owner will have different priorities, different perspectives, different objectives. And likewise, the HR director and of a small business and the CFO or chief people officer of a large corporate will have totally different objectives and perspectives. And then when you try to appeal to them both in one go, you have to compromise your message, compromise your strategy, because you can't resonate easily. So that's where the MVC becomes very important. Who are the most valuable clients to you? Now, it may well be that you can serve large corporates and you can serve smaller businesses. The MVC doesn't have to be the most value in terms of profit. It may well be that you decide for the next 12, 18 months, we're going to focus on building our small business offering, really lay some foundations, get ourselves into a place where we're getting a return on investment on LinkedIn, and then pursue the corporates where we know it's going to be a longer decision-making process and they're going to be looking at things over a much longer period. So that's just a suggestion for you if you've got lots of markets you can serve. Focus on one, make one work, make sure it's the most valuable to you right now, build on that, and then extend on. So packaging your offer is critical, but if you don't define your MVP, your offer becomes wishy-washy, and so people can't see the value very easily. And then you'll feel like, why is this so hard to push? Why is this so difficult to communicate? It's because you've compromised on the offering to try and appeal to too many people. Remember, you probably don't need thousands of customers. 99% of the people watching this don't need thousands of customers. You need 100. So we'll build on this analogy as we go through the next stages. So packaging your offer, number 2. Number 3, taking that big promise, breaking it down into content topics and subtopics, and building your personal brand off that. You want to be known for something, and it's up to you to choose to be known for something very specific. Again, one of our fears is that if we pigeonhole ourselves, we might lose out. But on social media, on LinkedIn, it kind of works the reverse. When you focus, you actually win more. So the more you can focus on a key audience with key topics that all wrap around your offer, your big promise, you actually start to create content that resonates with the MVCs. So the advantage of this is your content will nurture at scale. So as you build your network, your content will nurture at scale. Will you go viral? Probably not. Will you become the world's foremost thought leader on this topic? Maybe not. But will you resonate with a core group of people who need what you sell? Absolutely. So building your personal brand, connecting it to the topics, the subtopics, and the big promise means that your offer, your content, and your positioning as an individual all line up. So suddenly you're giving the world clarity on who you are, what you do, the value you deliver, and who you deliver that value for. So it's all aligned. Then we come to the process. So I'm just going to detail the whole process from start to finish. So when we work with a client in our accelerator, the first thing we do is we sit down with them or book a call with them to go through their go-to-market strategy. In other words, all of the things I've just spoken about, getting that documented down, getting a plan of action, setting clear goals, so that we can say, okay, quite simply, in the next 12 months, I want to make this many sales of this offer with this target audience, and then we can go, well, how many sales calls, how many discovery calls do we need to equal that revenue? And we work the whole thing out of what we need to do, and it ends with the sales call. Yeah, you don't win any business on LinkedIn unless you end up on a sales call. So we reverse engineer from the end. You're on the sales call all the way back to the very beginning. And we build that into your go-to-market strategy. So every bit of the plan is in there, which includes your personal brand piece, your content, your connections, how you're going to build your network with the right people, how you're going to engage them, not just pitch them, because we're all sick of that, but how are we going to actually get them to engage with us? And there's many different ways, depending on your industry, depending on what you do, depending on where you are in your business, there are different paths to engage. It can be social selling and it can be outreach, but you could equally use PDF lead magnets, you could use webinars, you could use feed content. There's a ton of different ways, but what we have to do is decide on a path of how you're going to engage and document that in your go-to-market strategy so that you have a clear set of actions that deliver a result. I've spoken to many people who've said, I'm spending tons of time on LinkedIn, and when I ask them what they're doing, most of the time what they're doing is not things that will actually move the needle in their business. They're commenting on their cousin's post, or they're creating content because somebody put up a tortoise smiling, eating a carrot, and they go, I could do a post like that. We get blown around by the winds of trends, but what we need to do is focus on doing and taking the actions that will actually achieve a result. And I know I'm a stuck record, but you don't need tens of thousands of people to love what you do. If 100 people are hooked on what you do, see the value, you will have the best year ever. But sometimes we get lost in, if I appeal to the masses, I'll win, when actually I just have to appeal to the right 100 people. And if I appeal to that right 100 people, I'm having an awesome year. So engagement becomes really important. Who are we engaging with? What are we doing to actually get people interested and curious? Then we've got to convert those people. We've got to follow them up. We've got to actually get them into a conversation where we can actually book a call. So that's the convert. We take a LinkedIn connection, we've engaged them. Now we have to convert them into an offline conversation on a call. That's a process in itself. Most people don't have a plan to do that. Most people just go, I'll message people and some people I'll bite and hopefully I'll get on a call. No, we have a plan for it. So we have a plan to get connections onto calls. And then the final part is, and again, this is documented in the go-to-market strategy, how are you going to run that call to actually get conversions? So when we write the go-to-market strategy, a lot of people are uncertain about what their sales call to client ratio is. So we normally put a base level, a low result in there so that we work to, we don't know the answer. So let's assume that for every 5 calls, you get 1 sale. If you need 5 sales, the maths are simple. You need 25 sales calls. So we put all that together, and then as you go through your go-to-market strategy, as you implement, as you book those calls, you can adjust that number because it may well be actually it's 3 to 1. For every 3 calls, I get 1 sale. So you can adjust those numbers accordingly. But we start with the number, the lowest number, and work up. And then running that call, how do you run that call? Quick tip, most calls need a discovery phase, they need a goal setting phase, a goal conversation phase, and then they need an offer phase. And if you don't do the first part, the second half of the call, the second half, the offer, making the offer, falls flat. So if you don't understand their challenges, you don't understand their goals, when you come to make your offer, you can't show them how it will help them hit their goals. So the benefits of this process, first of all, you're going to get the most valuable clients. 2, you're going to spend a lot less time on LinkedIn. You're going to have very focused activity on LinkedIn rather than, making it up as you go along. You're going to have clarity and a clear direction. If you follow these principles, you'll have clarity and a clear direction on what to do that will actually move the needle. And you're going to make more money. It's just a no-brainer. If you focus on a whole process to get sales calls and convert those sales calls, you're going to make more money. Because instead of focusing on, did this post get 2,000 impressions or 500 impressions, or no, this one got 62? No, it's like, I got 25 calls this month, or I got 10 calls this month. I need 15, or I need whatever. That's where the focus needs to be. So every piece of content is a tool to get calls. That's it. That's the process. So you're going to make a real impact. Will you be, like I said, will you become a global influencer and be flooded with likes and comments and feel on top of the moon? Maybe not. But you will get the right people who can actually pay you, seeing your content, understanding your value, which is, in my world, that means more to me than some likes from people who never could buy from me. And if you implement these strategies, build this out, build your plan, you're gonna have that 6-figure revenue stream from LinkedIn because you've designed your actions around a strategy to achieve results. So it's really important that you think about, if I'm serious about using LinkedIn, if I really want to get that revenue up, I have to have a plan. I have to focus. I have to take action consistently on the things that will actually improve my business and win me clients. And then you design your time, your day to fit that. Whether that's an hour a day, 2 hours a day, does not matter. It's about what will move the needle. And if it's 15 minutes a day, it's 15 minutes a day. If that moves the needle for you, that's all you need to do. So hopefully you found this helpful. The PDF slides, because I've given you a summary here, you should see a form or a button somewhere near this video. If you want a copy of these slides, just put your details in. You can download a copy. We'll email them to you. But seriously, if LinkedIn is the place to really build your business as a revenue stream, you can get 6 figures out of LinkedIn. I've done it. I've got clients who've done it. I've got reviews coming out my ears of people who've done it. If you want to build that 6-figure revenue stream and you want certainty and clarity about making it happen, click the link and book a call, and our team will show you how we can help you build that plan and make it happen.